Hello, hello, everybody. Want to say hi, Billy? Say hi. We are back. It's Take Your Medicine time, Billy. Today is episode 48. Good job, us. We made it. So, it has been a wild time for me of grief, grieving. It's been such an unexpected time. I don't know, like we're coming up on a year since the most horrible loss we could have ever imagined. I'm Bailey. And the grief is coming back around for sure. Everything is triggering right now. You know, my 1 year memories keep popping up, and my body is just feeling the seasons changing, and it's all bringing back this time of year and everything that was happening last year at this time, and just the absolute tragedy and devastation. And it's been really difficult and unexpectedly so. I have spent several days just needing to cry from the depths of my being and from the deepest parts of my literal womb. I have just needed to cry. And the other day, I was really going through it, couldn't get well, I wasn't really trying to control my emotions, but I just really needed to let it all out. And I asked my kids if anyone wanted to go to the desert and just scream, because I just needed to let it out. And my daughter Anna, she came with me, and we ended up just driving out like 10 minutes past our house to the desert. And we talked and talked for a while. We cried together, and then we got out of the car and we screamed. And it's amazing how vulnerable screaming is. You would think it really wouldn't be, but it is. It's like a big release, and there's something about it that feels really vulnerable and uncomfortable. And she said, I don't even know what to say. And I said, scream that. And so she's like, I don't even know what to say. And we just kind of started from there and just kept screaming. And it really did feel good when I was initiated into dragon energy in December. I was cleared all the way up my chakra system with dragon energy. And it was like I was screaming, but it was more of like a roar that was like otherworldly. Like I have never roared or screamed like that in my life. It was wild, literally. And it was so clearing, and it really helped me understand the power of just a really strong vocal release out of the throat chakra. So I was really grateful for that. I was supposed to journey on Wednesday, and I was so emotional and so heavy with grief. I didn't feel like I could do it. Every single time I journey, it is a big step in courage and faith. It takes a lot for me to surrender and commit to the journey. And I was just crying and crying and crying, and feeling so much sadness, anger, frustration, resentment, all kinds of really difficult feelings flowing through me. And I have really just had to allow it, because Jesus Kate always says there is no way out but through. You have to face it, and you just have to walk through it. And it's fucking horrible. Anybody who's been through grief gets it and understands like this level of I feel like the Tin Man sometimes because it's in the body and I feel like it hurts to move my actual body because it's heavy, heavy, heavy with grief. My breasts ache for my baby, my womb aches, my body is longing for my child. It's fucking horrible. And I've been reading from this book, Living When a Loved One Has Died, and it's helpful. It's also like kind of a really kind of brutal read. I I sent it to a friend whose mom passed away before I finished reading it because I read the first few pages and I was like, oh, this could really help my friend. And I kind of regret sending it because it can be really harsh. It's just like, you need to come to terms with the fact that your loved one has died. And I understand it. We do have to face it. We can't go around it. We can't sugarcoat it. But yeah, if you're looking for a strong read on how to get through grief, this one's not messing around. Anyway, I was facilitating a session the next day. So Wednesday, I was really, really, really struggling. I don't know if I would say struggling. I was just allowing grief to move through me. I needed to cry. I needed to scream. I needed to express. And so I did that. Then Thursday, I facilitated a session for someone. And it was a beautiful experience. Wonderful healing took place. But that session was also really triggering for me. There was a lot coming through this person that was a message that I needed to hear too and learn from. And so it was all just really triggering. I went and checked my mail after that session was over. And my amazingly thoughtful, dear friend and soul sister Iggy had sent me a loaf of homemade sourdough bread, which she put LLT, like literally like wrote it in the dough. Like the bread was this beautiful loaf engraved with LLT. And if you know what LLT is. And I could not even have thought of a more wonderful gift after a very grueling session and days of grieving leading up to that session. And I was just feeling it. And I sliced that warm, it was warm literally from my mailbox. She sent it from Utah and sliced it and put some butter and honey on it. And I felt like I was literally like ingesting Iggy's love. I literally was ingesting Iggy's love. Good Christ, I wish she was my neighbor because everything she makes is like magic. She's like a food witch goddess queen, and everything she makes, it feeds my soul. I was at her house in Utah um, in July, and she made this incredible salad. So colorful and healthy and delicious. I just could not get enough of it. So I made that salad for myself yesterday, and it still feels like I'm eating Iggy's love, even though I had to make the salad myself. I am so freaking grateful for the women in my life who hold space for me. I never thought I would be friends or close with women, and I'm connecting with women, and we understand each other's hearts, and we are able to heal each other with presence and love and authenticity and depth and care, real care. And so, man, I'm so thankful. So thankful for Iggy and for my other soul sisters who keep in touch with me and hold space for me and bring me so much love and comfort through this really difficult season. I wanted to talk really quickly about light language because light language is something that is starting to come up more and more with Jesus Kate. She's told me, and I think I have mentioned it on this show, that that as soon as I get out of my own way, I will be able to speak a language that can transfer a lot more energy and information than words. Our human language is very simple and it's very limiting, but light language, she teaches me, can allow for the transfer of a lot of energy and a lot of information at once beyond what simple words put into linear sentences strung along can do. She says, like, your human language, it's like beep boop, and the way that they can transfer energy is much more efficient. And so I've been having all of these, impressions that light language is kind of around the corner for me. And I was cleaning the bathroom the other day, and I started having this kind of flow of information from Jesus Kate about how light language is not translatable into words. It's not like a direct translation. And she was telling me that people who are like nonverbal, whether it be with autism or other disabilities or things that cause their life to be a little bit more difficult or communication to be more difficult, that light language can be very effective for people who have autism or things like that. And so my dear friend who has a daughter that has autism, she is mostly nonverbal, although she has made amazing progress in the last couple of years, and it's been awesome to see her grow and progress. But she is such a little angel cutie, one of my best friend's daughters. And so Jesus Kate wanted me to let my friend know that her daughter would probably be really receptive to light language, and that my friend could speak light language to her daughter. And I asked Jesus Kate, I said, how? How does she speak light language to her daughter? And Jesus Kate's answer was very simple. Her answer on how to speak light language was let go. Let go. And the more I've thought about that, the more it just makes sense. It literally is letting go of what you thought light language might be, letting go of what you think people are thinking about you, letting go of your own self-criticisms, letting go of any insecurity, letting go of your resistance, letting go of any beliefs that are limiting you from allowing every part of your communication to fly free. And she said the most beautiful thing. She said, just like every other being in nature, you too have a song to sing. Crystals, diamonds, rocks, trees, mushrooms, birds, bees, snakes, all the animals of the animal kingdom, all of the plants, all of the elements, all of them have a vibration and a song. And you can look up on like TikTok or YouTube, people are now hooking these very sensitive like electrodes to plants and mushrooms and listening to the song of these beings. And it is beautiful. It's so cool. And they're all so unique. But just like the birds singing and the bees buzzing and the snakes hissing and the lions roaring, our song goes beyond the language that we're programmed to speak. Our song comes from the depths of our soul, and each of us has a song to share because we, like every other living being that has a song, we are also interconnected and totally one with nature. We just have a hard time seeing it that way. So if we can let go of all of our inhibitions, all of our self-doubt, all of our self-criticism, and let it go and let it fly free. So she's teaching me all of this about light language. And then AJ and I go and attend a cacao ceremony. It was like a shamanic cacao ceremony. If you're not familiar with cacao, it's a beautiful plant medicine. It's a heart opener. I love to work with cacao, and I've always really appreciated it, but this was my very first time actually attending a cacao circle or a cacao ceremony. And sure enough, the lady who has Mayan lineage, she's actually headed to Guatemala to learn and live with the Mayan people for the next 3 months. But during this ceremony, she began to speak the most beautiful light language. And the woman who was also facilitating with her, who owns the place that we were having the ceremony at, she started speaking her beautiful light language, which I had heard before. And this woman, she said in the ceremony, she said, just like all the beings of nature, you also have a song. And she encouraged everyone to allow their song to fly free. And I was like, oh my God, I cannot believe that she just said the same thing that Jesus Kate said. I've never heard that before, that all beings, all life, all creation has a song, and we are part of that, and we have a song to sing too. So I opened my vocal cords and I started to allow light language to flow. And it was so easy in this container of beautiful energy that was flowing. These vibrations were flowing. I was feeling all of the vibrations through my body, the beautiful spirit of the cacao blessing all of us. And we went into this journey. She was drumming, she was speaking light language, and I was able to really start feeling like, oh my God, I'm channeling light language right now. And it was really, really cool. And then after the ceremony, because this other wonderful, beautiful facilitator is going to be with the Guatemalan Mayan people for the next few months, I got asked to be the one who facilitates the next 3 months of cacao ceremonies. And so now I have this opportunity to bravely step in there and allow light language to come through me and to share my gifts. And it's all so overwhelming and anxiety inducing. I feel like I'm walking into the unknown constantly while I'm walking with so much grief and difficult feelings running through my body. It's a wild and interesting time in my life, and I'm just trying to be with all of it and allow all of it. And just like Jesus Kate said, only do what feels fun and be brave about it. So that is what I'm trying to do, is doing what feels fun and being brave about it. So that is that. I'm super grateful for the opportunity that I am getting to facilitate a group with this work. And, I'm going to be doing a lot more group work, I think, in the next few months coming up. I actually cannot facilitate the ceremony that I was asked to on in October. So I'll be doing November and December, I think. But I'll be out of the state in October, so I can't do that one. But anyway, everything is happening, and it is exciting and scary and beautiful and miraculous. And it's all of the things. Life is crazy. And I am very, very, very grateful for the experiences I have had in the last year that have brought me comfort and strength and healing and clarity. I am extremely grateful for a supportive family. My wonderful baby daddy of my first four and co-parent, Jake, he has said several times that it's like we're all on the same grief roller coaster, but we're all in different cars. So one person might be climbing the hill, one person might be flying down the hill, one person might be on a loop-de-loop, one might be in a dark tunnel, and we don't always know where everyone else is. And it's just changing constantly. It comes in these crazy waves, and we don't expect it. And all of a sudden it just knocks you down again and again. And so we all just start trying to be as supportive as we can, checking in with each other, making sure that everyone knows that they are loved and cared for. And a lot of it just has to be gone through alone too. Like I just need to cry and cry and cry and cry and cry some more. And it is what it is. It just is what it is. So I'm grateful to be a human. I'm grateful to be in this body. I'm grateful to be sharing myself with all of you. I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for the opportunities I'm receiving. Grateful for my animals and my plant friends and for plant medicine teachers. I am amazed to even just be experiencing this human life. I've um, said many times when I've journeyed and I've been out of my body, and there have been some times where I'm like looking at my body on the bed, and I'm like, my friends are like, "That's your body, and you have to get in it." And I'm like, "What? Are you crazy? No way!" I'm looking at this complex machine, and they're telling me that's yours and you have to get in it. And I'm laughing hysterically at them, like there's no way I would know how to run that thing. That thing is so complex and I don't know how to deal with a human body. And then they're like, yeah, here, that's yours, and get on in there. And then I enter my body and I'm like, oh my God, it's wild. Like I feel like my head is like a giant space helmet, and it literally feels like I'm wearing some kind of avatar spacesuit. And it's an experience. It's an experience. I'm super duper grateful to be in this body, to be in this heaviness, to be in this density, to be helping others along the way, to find more light in their life, even through the most difficult year of my life. I feel like I have learned and grown so much, and I have the coolest team on the other side that has helped me and guided me and strengthened me and sustained me through this crazy year. And doing this show has really helped me too. So, anyone who's taken the time to watch, I thank you. I thank you for being here with me, for holding space. This shit is lonely and difficult and treacherous. And if you are going through grief, I want you to know that you are not alone and that there's nothing wrong with you if you need to just fucking cry all day for however long, this is grief. And you can reach out and we can cry together if you want. So I'd like to just take a moment, if that's okay, to honor all of those that are grieving today. Honoring all of the pain, the suffering, the regret, the depression, the heaviness, the despair, the panic, the loneliness, the anger, the resentment, the fury, the rage, honoring it all, allowing it all, giving thanks for the little glimmers that we get to connect with our loved ones through, the signs, the numbers, the synchronicities, the magic everywhere around us. Thank you, thank you, thank you, spiritual teachers. Thank you, plants. Thank you. Thank you to our loved ones on the other side who are guiding us, who are involved, who are trying to show us their presence, who are wanting us to connect, wanting us to see them, wanting us to feel their subtle energies. I just ask for a blessing of comfort for all those who are in grief today, all those who feel alone. I send my heart, I send my blessings, I send Jesus, Kate, and Ebert's blessings to you. Aho. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much for being here. I love you all. I will see you next time. Namaste.